The Galactic Council's universal database was the most comprehensive repository of knowledge in the known universe. It contained detailed records of every species, their biological traits, technological advancements, and cultural quirks. It was the ultimate tool for diplomacy, trade, and warfare. So, when the entry for Homo sapiens was updated to include adrenaline, Class 12 weapon of mass destruction, the galaxy was thrown into chaos. The revelation came after the infamous incident on Zeta 9, a remote mining colony on the edge of the Andromeda expanse. The colony was a melting pot of species, each contributing their unique skills to the operation. Among them were a handful of humans, hired for their reputation as relentless problem solvers. The aliens found humans peculiar. They consumed toxic substances for pleasure, thrived on minimal sleep, and often performed feats that defied logic. But nothing could have prepared the galaxy for what happened that day. It began with a catastrophic failure in the colony's tectonic stabilizer. The machine, designed to keep the unstable planet's crust from collapsing, malfunctioned, sending shockwaves through the facility. Alarms blared, and the alien crew scrambled to evacuate. But the humans? They did something no one expected. Jansen, a wiry human engineer with a penchant for caffeine and bad jokes, sprinted toward the epicenter of the disaster. His heart rate skyrocketed, his pupils dilated, and his muscles seemed to operate far beyond their biological limits. Ignoring the pleas of his alien colleagues, he single-handedly repaired the stabilizer, lifting heavy machinery and working with a precision that bordered on supernatural. By the time the danger had passed, Jansen was unconscious, his body shutting down from the strain. The alien crew was stunned. How could a species so physically fragile perform such miracles? The answer, as the galactic database soon revealed, lay in a tiny molecule, adrenaline. Further investigation uncovered countless instances of humans defying the odds. There was the human pilot who outmaneuvered a swarm of drones while bleeding profusely from a shrapnel wound. The human scientist who worked 72 hours straight to develop a cure for a plague threatening an entire planet. The human soldier who lifted a collapsed beam to save a trapped alien child, despite having 3 broken ribs. The database's algorithms analyzed the data and reached a startling conclusion. Human adrenaline was not just a survival mechanism, it was a weapon. When activated, it granted humans temporary superhuman abilities, making them unpredictable and dangerous. The Council debated for weeks before finally classifying it as a weapon of mass destruction. Humans, of course, found the whole thing hilarious. So you're saying we're basically walking nukes? Jansen joked, now fully recovered and back to work. But the galaxy wasn't laughing. Military strategists began drafting contingency plans. Diplomats scrambled to reassess treaties. And the humans? They just kept doing what they always did, pushing boundaries, breaking limits, and reminding the galaxy why they were the most feared species in the cosmos. One particularly memorable incident occurred during the Battle of Krell's Folly. A human marine, Corporal Elena Ramirez, was pinned down by a squad of heavily armed Crothax warriors. Outnumbered and outgunned, Ramirez's adrenaline kicked in. She moved faster than the Crothax could track, dodging plasma fire and taking down her enemies with brutal efficiency. By the time reinforcements arrived, Ramirez was standing amidst a pile of unconscious Crothax, her uniform torn and her knuckles bloodied. "What the void just happened?" asked a stunned Crothax commander, watching the footage later. "That," replied a human diplomat with a smirk, "is what we call a Tuesday." The galaxy soon learned to respect and fear human adrenaline. It wasn't just a chemical, it was a force of nature. It turned ordinary humans into unstoppable forces, capable of achieving the impossible. And while the Galactic Council classified it as a double UMD, the humans saw it as something else entirely, proof of their resilience, their ingenuity, and their unbreakable spirit. As the database entry for Homo sapiens was updated once more, a new footnote was added. Warning, do not provoke. Adrenaline response may result in catastrophic outcomes. The humans, meanwhile, just shrugged and went back to work. After all, they had a galaxy to explore, limits to push, and a reputation to uphold. Because when the chips were down and the adrenaline kicked in, there was no force in the universe that could stop them.